Yeah, credit to them for making the Discord invite thing literally dummy-proof.
All right, we're taking a look at Task Force. So yeah, definitely some early access shenanigans going on here. And I mean, this came out a few days ago, and it's a team of like 3 dudes working on this, and it shows in some, obviously we've got a lot here that is not usable yet. And if you go down here to the settings and the quitting, you'll notice the hit detection for where things are versus, oh, you know what, I'm just realizing something, that the way that it's displaying on my display versus what I'm seeing on the recording are different.
Ooh.
So in mine, what I see on my actual display, my mouse cursor is on the replays setting, but on the display it looks like I'm on actual settings. So I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe could be some of the rendering, but we're gonna go to the servers, see what's going on here. Nope, I don't want to cancel. Connect to one of these. All right, we're gonna connect.
I'm excited to see this. Is it patching?
So it is. So all the the SOCOM maps are technically like community workshop maps, so they're not like in the game, quote unquote. So it has to download those like workshop games.
Ooh, they really went for the crunchy PS2 game. Oh, got killed by 1-800-GO-FedEx.
Let's go to the armory here and look at what's going on here. So some of the rendering for your character doesn't work as well as it should.
I love that it's a literal skeleton that didn't load the rest of the textures.
Ray, did you ever see any one of those when you were deployed?
Quite literally a skeleton.
A skeleton with an M4 doing stretches or whatever.
It could have been anything. It could have been like a skeletal rig, but they're like, nah, B, it's literally a skeleton.
You have one inside you right now.
It's the little things.
I will say it looks like the stream recording is a little choppy, but it's choppy. It's choppier than what I'm seeing, but not that much choppier.
I gotta ask you, Josh. Was SOCOM, we'll say SOCOM 2 on the PS2, was it this rough looking?
So I want to go back. Like, I need to go back and look, and I think in like character models, this game has SOCOM 2 beaten. I think in terms of like terrain and environments, this game is actually close to what SOCOM 1 and 2 would have had, but SOCOM 1 and 2 had the benefit of using some more camera tricks and ambiance to obfuscate some of the rough edges. Because I think there would have been some more smoke and some more dust, and the draw distance wouldn't have been as big to kind of cut off some of that, like, hey, you see some of the rough edges because it's in a higher rendering resolution, because you're not playing it on a CRT television. So I think some of it is similar, but also, hurt by the modernness of where we're at. But and again, I think some of this is the I am recording and streaming at the same time, and this game is not optimized for it. So, the encoder's only doing what it can, and so it's not giving you the best picture. On my end, it looks not bad. I'll say that.
I like the guy that we just saw went by that was straight up bunny hopping.
Yep.
In SOCOM, and like what's not SOCOM.
But you didn't play a lot of SOCOM online, Ray. You played a lot of SOCOM single player.
I played zero SOCOM. I watched a little bit of you play SOCOM.
SOCOM that is 100% SOCOM online. Like what you just saw there, that is 100% SOCOM online combat.
Okay.
Like, I have been in this exact situation thousands of times of, like, being in this moment where you're, like, only
drop that guy.
1 or 2 people left, and you're like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? Let's jump around. I will say the time to kill in this game is much, much shorter than, like, original SOCOM.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this M16 is 3-round burst like the original. Good to know. Ah, shit.
Man, 1-800-GO-FedEx has your number.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, all right, he's going to spawn over here. I got the headshot lined up.
I got the order tracking right here.
Oh, no! No!
The Bants.
God. Oh. I love it.
But this is 100% a SOCOM map that, like, I've played a million times. Like, it, you know, I haven't thought about this in forever, but, like, seeing it all floods back to me. Like, this is, you know, obviously it's not as refined as, you know, the product that Zipper Interactive put out, but you know, this is a map that was on SOCOM that I played a fuck ton of, that, you know, I very distinctly remember.
Man, remember in the day when Zipper Interactive existed?
Yep.
Seals victorious.
Jeff Gershman, who I heard was listening to talk about this. Oh wow, he taunted.
Yeah, he did.
He was talking about, like, yeah, the last SOCOM 2 came out literally 20 years ago.
Yep. And, like, SOCOM 3 came out. SOCOM 3 had an expansion game that came out, and then Zipper made Mag, and then...
Did Zipper make Mag?
Yeah, Zipper made Mag.
I feel so bad, because that had such potential, but it fell on its face so hard.
Yep. Well, I think it was a little ambitious for the PS3. Like, yes, it was handleable, but, like, you know, there were some problems, and, you know, not everybody was ready for that. I'm being fired on, and I don't know from where.
Before I give my commentary, I'll wait till you smoke a couple people, or get smoked. Straight snake.
I don't know where I got fucking snacked from, but yeah. So Zipper made Mag. There was a big lull, and then Zipper made a SOCOM 4 for. It was either very late PS3 or early PS4. I can't remember, but there was.
That was PS3, wasn't it?
I think it was very late PS3, but there was a SOCOM 4, but it was very, like, you know, story-driven operator, like, you know, it wasn't like squad-based. It was like you played like characters, you know, and I think the online wasn't quite the same. And, you know, at that time, the online dynamic was really shifting towards that respawn COD multiplayer and whatnot, and that's kind of where things were.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, Mag didn't do super well. You know, it did well enough, but not the kind of grand scope they were thinking. SOCOM 4 did not do well at all. There were some PSP and PS Vita games, but I think those were made by smaller, different studios. So Zipper folded, and it's been a long time since there's been anything. And I've heard people like Jeff Gershman and others talking on video game podcasts over the last 5-10 years of like, remembering SOCOM and like, I don't think that there is space for the industry has moved on from that style. But honestly, I think right now, given where the industry has gone and the way things have changed, I think there is a space for a more round-based tactical. Now, obviously, the original SOCOMs, yes, I have some nostalgia for them, but there were problems with them. You could game them, yada yada. But like, I think that style of like third-person round-based, best of 11 shooter could work now more than it could have 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm looking it up because I went to their Wikipedia page. I'm sad to report, and I had this game, and Josh played it at my apartment when I was living there. I had MAG, and that game killed Zipper Interactive. I'm sad to report.
Did Zipper even develop SOCOM 4?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And they closed like
5 minutes
barely
later.
a year after. Yeah, like 5 minutes after they released that game, they shut their doors.
That was laggy.
Yeah, they needed SOCOM 4 to be a runaway success because they lost way too much money on MAG. Which is a criminal shame because MAG is what I thought I always wanted in a first-person shooter, and then I played it, and it's fun for the first like 5 hours. Don't worry, it's like this heavenly experience because you're like, finally, someone listened to the fans and they gave us what we wanted. And then, like, right at the 5-hour mark, you're like, wait a minute. I actually don't want this. Holy shit.
I didn't
don't
want
this
this
at all. This is actually, like, really bad. To those that don't know what we're talking about, MAG was this Mad Lad console first-person shooter that came out in 2010 on the PS3 exclusive, mind you, where it was 256 players. That's right, 128 on 128 action. And you're like, what are you talking about? Battlefield 5 hasn't even gotten to that yet. That sounds great. No! You're an idiot. It's chaos. You get to experience what, like, full-on open assault ground combat is like. It turns out you spawn and you've got 5 people somehow aiming at you from across the map.
Yeah, it's like, SOCOM servers back in the PS2, it was like, okay, if a server got 256 players, like, that was a full server, and that was like 20, 30 different games going on that server of like, 16 people. But no, this was one server of 256 people in one game.
Yeah, well, I played a lot of those 256 player matches, and the thing is, you're not fighting like one soldier versus 256 players. Get him, Josh. Fuck him up. Wait, I want to see.
Man, you
Josh
can really
say
whip
stroke
those
now.
grenades. Damn.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's shocking that went that far.
It's like all in the wrist, I guess.
I remember in basic training, my drill sergeant insulted me for how far I didn't throw my grenade.
What a bitch.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, actually.
Well, also, I mean, you got to be careful because you don't want to be the guy who threw his arm out because he tried to throw his grenade super far.
Also,
Yeah,
okay, here's a cool little feature. Okay, I have not I have pulled my weapon close to my body, so if I now want to aim it, it pushes me away from the wall. I can't get as close as I would have holding my weapon. Now, obviously, I'm kind of going into, but
There we go. Okay, yeah, it pops you out. That's interesting. Is that like a thing that always happened in SOCOM as well?
I don't remember, but it's very similar to something that would have happened. Like, they do have the SOCOM lean like they would have had back then.
That is some cool. That seems like useless jank, and I'm here for it.
Yep. Honestly, I'm looking at like the outplay of what I'm recording, and it's like, okay, recording at like 40, 50 FPS of what's happening and the encoding not being great looks more like what I probably would have seen when I was 12 watching actual SOCOM on the PS2.
Yeah.
Definitely not what I'm seeing right now, but, just want to make that clear that, the product that is being output on my screen is a little different than what's being recorded, but,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, going back to what I was saying. In Mag, you were on like I think it was like 20 or 30-man fire teams, and you were given instructions by a commander who was a player, and your instructions were like defend this like 300-yard patch of map, and don't.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, you got him?
Yeah, I got
yeah, I
him.
see it. You got him.
I'm
Your
gonna
job
head
was
to
to
bed,
defend
folks.
it versus like 30. Josh, no.
1 and a 2 and a 3 Margarita. 4 and a 5 and a 6 Margarita. Oh my god, Dad. Stop dancing, dude. I can't stop dancing.
Wow. Oh my god.
This isn't Smash Brothers. You can't cancel a taunt.
That's
I don't know how to get rid of this screen.
What is it
I
about
think the
that?
timer's expired.
Wait, did you guys win?
I don't know. I think it was timer scam.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna duck out. Night, guys.
You have a
Night.
good one, Mike. Anyways, all this to say, like, what we wanted from Mag, the world actually never wanted.
Yeah, the
I'm glad-
world wasn't ready for it.
I'm glad someone made it so that it can answer our dreams, and we can all realize, wait, we actually never needed this. Okay, now that Mike left, my encoding just went to shit. That's interesting. Okay, I love the 3D audio that's going on to go ahead and get a feel of where you're going. That's necessary. In a
Yeah, I
game
will
like this.
say like their sound design pretty good for the most part. I also noticed like in the SOCOM game there were very very distinct like weird bullet blood holes on your person on the character of like you got shot, and they have definitely just like found a way to like recreate those in this game. I have mostly seen it when I have like spectated somebody, but it has definitely been taken into this game.
Wait, the bloody bullet holes has been taken into this game?
Yeah, like they're like look on my back right now.
Oh,
Tho-
I see. Yeah.
They're a little more high def than they would have been on the
Seals
PlayStation, but like
victorious.
that is definitely just plucked straight from SOCOM 1, 2, and 3. Like your character would get those kind of bullet holes on you if you got hurt in the middle of a firefight. And I think that was single player and multiplayer.
That's really cool. There was a single player? I thought this was multiplayer
No,
only.
no. Those bullet holes were on you in single player or multiplayer.
Huh.
On the original SOCOM for PlayStation 2. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
3 times, 81% damage. Ah, so close to killing him.
I'm glad you're beyond the age where a lot of Gen Z people, and yes, I'm going to insult Gen Z in this video for a tiny bit.
Fuck 'em.
Screaming one shot, he's one shot, go get him, one shot into the mic does not make me want to go shoot them. As a matter of fact, it makes me want to do the opposite. It's like, nah, he can live.
Nah, fuck him. He's alright. He
He's
made
still
it that far.
You know what? He's earned the W. I'm just gonna peace out. Oh gosh, that's probably more common in like Apex Legends because I haven't heard it in like many other games. But oh boy, what is it common in Apex Legends?
Right.
Okay, but this seems like a pretty alright game. What do you think?
Yeah, and so like and I was kind of telling you this in our chat earlier. Like, obviously, this is a small team. A couple of people are developing this right now, and it's a love letter to the SOCOM era of games and whatnot. It's early access. They're charging $10 for it to let people in, and there's a lot of features that couldn't be there, and this is easily something that could turn into nothing. But like, honestly, I am very impressed. Like, what they have done already, I can feel the bones of what they're trying to accomplish. And like, yes, there are some minor differences of like what my nostalgia from 15 years ago remembers, but like for the most part, like the feel is like, okay, even with the mouse and keyboard, I'm like, this feels like home. Like, this is it. Yes, the time to kill is a little short and whatnot. There aren't a ton of weapons. There's some jank to it. They don't have all the settings. Whatever. Like, I could go on and on about it, but at the end of the day, it is a love letter to SOCOM made by a couple guys who are charging $10 for fans to like take a look at it. And honestly, like, if they put up a Kickstarter to say like, hey, throw us some more money so we can try and like expand on this a little bit, I would throw some more money at it, keep playing this early access for a little while on and off, and if nothing more came of it, I would be okay with that. I mean, I want to see more. I want to see what they could do. But I'm very pleased with what they have been able to accomplish already. And if they do even more of this, even better. Like, I have paid more money for worse games made by bigger teams that were more polished.
This is true. This is absolutely
Yep.
true. Like, this game functions. I can't say that about every $60 game I've ever played. Which is a shame and an indictment.
And like, it looks good. It looks surprisingly good. Like, the video is not doing it full justice. Again, I'm streaming and recording at the same time, and I think the encoder is just not, doing a great job because it is early and there's a lot going on. But like, I'm impressed with how it's keeping up. The frame rate is good and solid in game. The draw distance is good. Ah, shit. Gunner 420 killed me.
That's a better name than some of the others.
1-800 FedEx.
No, that one's good. Shut up.
That is good.
If I compare it, Jeff Gershman, for a second, I think he's onto something with, like, the world has probably moved on from this sort of game, but that doesn't mean there isn't a niche audience that, like, pines for it. And you are in that audience. I think we could probably both agree.
100%.
And the servers for this game are full. You're not, like, struggling to find a match.
No, I mean, there are what, 4 or 5, granted, it is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on the Eastern Seaboard, and there were still 5 or 6 servers. They were moderately full. Like, again, not a ton of people, but this game doesn't have a ton of outreach right now. It is early access. It's $10. There's not a lot. There are going to be people who are going to come in and out of that game, but like, I'm in a match. I'm not having trouble. I'm having a good experience. Mike made the joke. I was playing last night, and he was in Discord. He wasn't, like, watching me, but he just heard me go, like, legitimately, without a sense of irony, oh, bullshit, how the fuck did he get me? And it's like, the game made me feel that. And, I haven't listened to Jeff Gershman's episode this week, but he's right. Like, in today's video game environment, there is definitely room for games like this that may not necessarily appeal to the quote-unquote the mass, but could still garner enough following between people who are looking for something like this. Because there's still enough distinction between a game like SOCOM and a round-based game like CS:GO. Like, there are major differences between the way those games operate. Yes, there are inspirations that SOCOM got from Counter-Strike, bringing a shooter to the console world with the round system, with the different objectives and whatnot, but there are still differences, and I think that, you know, if this team or a bigger team brought a game like this to market, I think there is absolutely room for enough people to keep a consistent audience alive for it. And like I said, if this team were to put out a Kickstarter, I would put at least $50 into it, if not 100, and say like, hey, if they make it even bigger and something more comes of it, great. If not, you know what? I am happy to have supported them in just putting this out and like showing that there is an appetite for something like this.
There's nothing negative I could say about that. Like, as you said at the very top, this is made by just a couple of dudes that said, wouldn't it be cool if this game or this style of game still existed? And there are specific servers where they want that authentic SOCOM experience back. And on the servers, they're like, you have to use a controller only, no mouse and keyboard. And, you know, you can't help but just give a nod of respect to that sort of, like, dedication. It would be weird to kind of hate on a game like this, because it's like, well, it's not for you. It's like explicitly not for you.
I died, but I got a grenade kill. Fuck him.
Wait, did you get that kill?
Yep, I killed. 1-800 FedEx killed me, but I killed him with my grenade. So
here's a special delivery. We left your order at the door. God, that name goes places.
Really does.
And for tactical shooters, especially for like the newer generation, for like you know, obviously Gen Z, whatnot, or the gen that comes after Gen Z, because Gen Z is starting to have kids now. They're not gonna play or appreciate a game like this. This will look like straight jank to them, and it's like, yeah, of course it does, because it was made on a console before like your parents were born, and that in some cases, and that's fine. It's not for you. This is for a completely different group, for a completely different time frame. That was a pioneer of. Because what was it? This was one of the first, if not the few, PlayStation online games.
This was definitely one of the bigger ones. It was probably been like this. Killzone was online.
Final Fantasy 11. That
Yep.
was a huge one.
I think there were a
Seals?
Yeah, I think there were a handful. Like, I think there might have been one racing game that took advantage of online capability. But you know, also, like, you know, PlayStation 2 also had the detriment of, you know, Xbox from day one came with network capability. Yes, not everybody had a DSL line at that time and could take advantage of it, but like, it was there from day one. The PS2, like the original fat PS2, did not come with, damn it, a network card. You had to buy an expansion card to put in the back to get network capability. It wasn't until they like did some of the redesigns in the Slim that they added just, you know, native network connectivity. Like, I had an original fat PS2 and I had to buy a $100 network card to put in that bad boy to play SOCOM on that thing. And at that time, the way that network connectivity was, like, my house had a DSL connection and I had to move the modem from the office where our computer was to my room and then plug it into the PS2 to actually play and get online. And like, if, you know, my parents or whatever needed to get online and they took the modem back to the computer, I couldn't play online anymore. You know, it was a very different era that a lot of folks could not understand of how online connectivity worked.
That was a weird, crazy time.
It really was.
You're taking me back. You're taking me back into like, when I have Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube, when I'm like, okay, cool, I've played the single player. How do I get this son of a bitch online? And it's like, oh, you actually wanted to play this online on your GameCube? Huh, okay.
Are you in Japan? No? Well, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, it was like you have to buy the Ethernet adapter and like good luck.
Yeah, I think they sold 8 of them in the United
Seals
States.
victorious.
It was such a criminally small number that when and this is just me going on the Phantasy Star Online rant, my apologies. When the game eventually got like a port to the Xbox, and it also finally got a port to the PC, and people were like, no, you were supposed to be a GameCube exclusive. It's like, stop, guys. No. No. Nintendo exclusives for online is just, to this day, like even with the Switch, and this goes to me going on another mini rant of how online connectivity is still evolving on game consoles. To this day, Nintendo still hasn't figured it out because the lag and the issues with the connectivity for Smash Brothers on the Nintendo Switch is so bad that their Smash Brothers is still banned from Evo. Last time I checked, at least it was when they were doing online only matches. I think they brought it back now that you could do Evo face to face. But during that brief period, it was like, yeah, eat it. We all know what's going on there. But
We can't trust the connection.
Online gaming is for the consoles was still weird, but I'm so happy that even though it was expensive, even though it was jank, and even though it was really hard to figure out back in the day, try explaining to your parents when you're like 15, 10, whatever. You and I can say from experience, like, hey, I need this like extra thing that's like about as much as a small gaming console. What is it? It lets me play my game console online. Remember the early days of the internet? They're like, why? And it's like, so I can play with other people. Invite other people to play with you.
So you can just have an sexual predator come to this house? No, thank you.
Oh, okay. My mom didn't say that. She said like, just invite people over and come play it. We'll buy another controller. That's like $20. I'm like, no, Mom, you don't get it, but I understand why you don't get it, because when you hear yourself saying it out loud, you're like, yeah, this sounds stupid.
Who would do this?
Why do you want to play with other people on the internet? Don't you send emails on that? Like, well,
I mean, the whole reason that I say, like, I am from a state that is a pop state. Most of the people in my state say pop. I say soda. I say soda because I was in a clan in SOCOM with people from the East Coast and a lot of people who said soda. They roasted me so much that I retrained my brain to say soda, and that is how I operate to this day.
Okay, I will admit I didn't change from pop to soda until I moved to California, but hearing that you got bullied into doing it is funny.
I was like, yeah.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, pop does sound dumb. Soda sounds fucking rad. Yeah, I'm gonna say soda now.
okay,
But like,
if you want to talk to Anna in Mississippi, they in the deep South they still call all
drinks are
Coke.
All drinks are Coke.
All drinks are Coke.
What kind of Coke do you want? I want a 7-Up Coke. Nope, fuck you.
I'm fitting to get a Pepsi Coke, right? And that's just the norm, and that's worse than pop. Okay. That's significantly worse.
I agree, but yeah,
okay,
so
she
like,
probably hurt me. She's gonna yell at me later.
No,
it's just worse. I'm sorry. if you're listening to this and you call it Coke and you call all of it Coke, what's it like to have that specific sort of capitalistic brainworms? Like that's. I get the Band-Aid one, right? like everything isn't actually a Band-Aid. Band-Aid is the brand. I get the Kleenex
It's a self-adhesive bandage.
Yeah. But Coke? Nah, that's the bridge too far. That's actually where I draw the line. Okay, I'm gonna bounce at this point.
Yep.
It's getting late.
All right, but yeah, this has been a little first look at Task Force. I like what they're doing. I hope they do more. I am excited to see where they go from here. And yeah, thanks for checking out with us. Appreciate it. Make sure to check us out on unscriptedgaming.com. All of our socials, all of our audio and video podcasts. And until next time, peace.
Later.